You know that it's fun to go out, except I never leave my house. I'm either at work or home, and it seems kind of pathetic just drinking alone. So if you got nothing going on, have some drinks with Ron.
Hello and welcome to Drinks with Ron. I'm Ron, and I just found this paper that I want to throw away, but before I do, I have to save it for posterity. Posterity? Yeah, not that sounds a little too much like prostate. That wouldn't... Fucking cat. Anyway, or should I go with the more Midwestern anyways? I used to work as a telemarketer. Well, technically not a telemarketer because I wasn't marketing, I wasn't selling anything. But when I lived in Madison, I was going to broadcasting school. I needed an afternoon job after class that I could kind of come and go as I pleased. Wouldn't cut into my time. Was off by 9 every night. Paid me decently. And though I hated it, I stuck there for a handful of months. And yeah, there's plenty of story about there, because what happened is we worked for Ameritech, which isn't even a thing now. But we would get a thing on the screen, we would call somebody who had Ameritech out to service their house, and we would basically ask them how it went. How was your service? Hi, I'm Ron, calling from Merit's Marketing Research. I was just wondering, I see here you had a recent experience contact with Ameritech. I was wondering if you'd like to talk about your experience today. And most time, no, they hung up on you. But you'd get in there and essentially you would ask them questions about, on a scale from 1 to 10, with 1 being bad and 10 being good, how would you rate the overall experience with your Ameritech customer service? I'd say it's a 4. They dug up the yard, and yes, sir. Okay, you know, I had some great ones. I had one guy who was very, very Asian. I think kind of off the boat Asian. He had a very thick accent, and we were having some trouble because he had a very bad experience. So okay, great. I'm explaining to him. Okay, well, here's what you want to do. Then you want to take my survey, and at the end, I'll fill out this whole thing. That'll go right to Ameritech with your name, your number. You know, it'll tell them that they screwed you big time. So let's just get through this survey. I'll put it in. It'll go right to them. You know. So how would you say you're over? It was bad. It was very bad. Okay. No, it's not okay. All right. No, it's not all right. They dug up the yard. They did. You know, he went on and on and on. The point, he never completed the fucking survey. I never got to send the note into Ameritech, so he was too mad to actually get the fucking thing resolved. But that's just one of them. One day I had to come in on a Saturday. Called a guy named Ron in Ohio. He asked me what I'm doing. Oh, I know, Madison, what are you doing to broadcasting school? Oh, that reminds me of the George Carlin AM and FM. You're too young, you never heard of that? Yes, sir, I have that on CD at my apartment right now. I have the whole thing memorized. What part you want to talk? So we spent 5 minutes going over George Carlin routines, you know, from the early 70s, when he was still a little hippy-dippy before he started to really turn it up. But anyway, there was the culmination for me at this place. We were all in kind of, they weren't even cubicles, so there were squares. There was about this big computer screen phone, and there was a little bank of them. There was 3, A bay, B bay, and C bay. And you'd have about 12 to 15 people in each bay, and a supervisor in the middle. So one day this guy in my bay walks over with a piece of paper, slaps down the desk, and says, "How would you pronounce that?" Supervisor looks at him and says, "Like it's spelled." He looks at the paper, picks it up to the supervisor, and walks back to his phone. Well, by this point, everybody in the bay knows something's up. So we all just kind of, you know, casually sit there as he dials in the number and says, "Yes, would this be the Yummy Dong residence?" "It is." What could I speak with Yummy Dong? Oh, Yummy Dong isn't home right now. When would be a better time to contact Yummy Dong? And, you know, like a fucking pro, man, he went through this, and as soon as he hung up, everybody laughed until they fucking cried. I mean, I know it's not that funny when I tell it now. It's one of those you had to be there, but to actually hear the guy, you know, cool as fuck when he did it, man. I wanted to go shake his hand. But anyway, getting to my point, I saved a list. There's 2 chicks I worked with there who were fucking awesome. And I said, when a job sucks that bad, you'll take anything to get through the day. So, we started making a list of some of our more favoritist names. I will read them quickly, and that will bring us to the end of this particular episode. Theodore R. Rolfs. Arthur J. Kulak. Michael Hardju. David L. Treblecock. Keisha Shante. Robert W. Scheidt. Wayne Eggersdorfer. Joseph E. Pizarra? I don't even know. It's one of those Eastern European CZ all consonant names. Ben... I'm not even going to guess. Rupa Hindia. Tali H. Jones. Joseph Bach. Nikos Katsaros. Joyce House. Cynthia Tonkin. Millicent Koch. Naresh Patel. Edward Mendenhall. Chaz Spangelberger. These are real fucking people, okay? Chaz Spangelberger is out there right now, assuming he hasn't died. Jas V. Greenlee. Lee Leininger. Walter J. Laylock. Duke Wisner. I want that to be my fucking... I want that tattooed on my arm. That's going to be my fucking alias. Hi, who are you? Duke Wisner. Wayne A. Strand. Larry E. Ramsayer. Frank Craggle? No, it wasn't. Frank, I couldn't remember if it was Crank Fraggle or Frank Craggle. Either way, I wrote them both down. Rex L. Berry. Baird Smart. Gretchen Zimmerman. This seems... Murphy Bean. Melvin Brabham. I don't know. Daniel DeChristofard? I'm not sure. Pan Kabat? Robert Petkus? Thaddeus Swizzix? Dr. Huang Chang Wang? Wow. E.R. Knenner? Yummy Dong? Eva K. Kania? And Mimi Zayas. So there they are. They're all down now. It's one of my old sheets from work. Yeah, there it is. Verbal comments. That's where I would have had to fill out all that horse shit about they dig up my yard. Yeah, this was me keeping tick marks of completed surveys or that might have been minutes. I loathed this job. Yeah, and keeping a running tab of how much time I had left in the day was definitely a thing. Also, there was some drawing. Yeah, the drawing of a car somewhere around here. It's kind of shitty, but for some reason I kept it for almost 20 years. Anyway, everything's off the sheet. It can go away now. And so will I for this episode of Drinks with Ron. I'm Ron, signing off.